All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Tonight, we're going to be talking about the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, folks, don't let that 6-8 record fool you. This team is a lot better than a lot of people are giving them credit for, and their future is actually extremely bright. A lot has to do with sneaky fourth-round draft pick Aiden O'Connell, who just hung up 63 points against the Los Angeles Chargers, and their defense, for the first time in quite some time, is actually really solid. They're only giving up 20 points per game. They are good for 9th in the National Football League. The eye test, statistical measures, whatever metric you want to use, the Raiders defense is really freaking solid, and their future is very bright, especially with Max Crosby being Max Crosby. The dude is an absolute freak in nature, but they really did well in the draft. They did very well in free agency, and now we're starting to see guys like Tyree Wilson move to defensive tackle, and he's looking like the Tyree Wilson that was selected 7th overall. So we still have 3 games left on the slate, and we're going to learn a couple of things. We're going to learn, is Antonio Pierce going to be the head coach of this team next season? We're going to learn, is Aiden O'Connell a legitimate QB1 threat for this squad? But one thing that I really saw this past Thursday night against the Chargers was offensive versatility. And this is something that we really have not seen. And I think just in general, a great way to view life, a great way to view sports is, guys, they're coming off a 3-0 loss against the Minnesota Vikings. Like, how well do you respond to adversity? How well can you respond when you get absolutely embarrassed on national television and they bounce back with 63 freaking points? I mean, it was crazy. My buddy was like, at halftime, he's like, you want to guess the score? There's 42 total combined points. I'm thinking, well, we watched the first quarter, maybe 28-14, something like that. No. It was 42-0 at halftime. Aiden O'Connell with 4 passing touchdowns. Jacoby Myers threw a touchdown. So obviously tonight we're talking about the Las Vegas Raiders. But before we do, if you guys enjoy it, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. I do post a ton of Raiders content on this channel. So Raiders fans, try and get this video to 100 likes. That would mean the absolute world to me. So it wasn't just the backup QB for the Chargers. It's funny, first off, because everybody's just ragging on this victory, saying, oh, well, they're playing a backup QB. Dude, we're playing. Jimmy Garoppolo was our starting quarterback to start the season. We saw Brian Hoyer. Like, this is Aiden O'Connell, the rookie who did not start the season. Why can't the Raiders get the proper love and respect that they deserve? But they put up 378 total yards of offense. They had a couple of defensive touchdowns. They were 9-16 in red zone or in third down efficiency. They were perfect, 3 for 3 in red zone efficiency. And most importantly, they gave up 0 turnovers and they had 5 total takeaways. I mean, this was an A+ performance by the Raiders, and I think it's just a sign of things to come. Now, I will say, a lot of people don't want to jump the gun on Aiden O'Connell, and that's why we have to keep in mind that, first off, guys, he's a rookie. He's a rookie. He's going to learn. He's going to make mistakes. You're going to have blunder games like they did against the Minnesota Vikings. Also, keep in mind, at that point in time, the Vikings defense was top 5 in the National Football League in opposing points per game. Brian Flores has done a phenomenal job getting that defense back on track. But once again, how do you respond to adversity? When you get embarrassed and you put up a whopping 0 points, which should never, ever, ever, ever happen in National Football League, well, they responded quite well, and Aiden O'Connell specifically responded quite well. But we also saw a bunch of different things offensively, and we'll talk about the defense later on in the video, but we saw a lot of things offensively that I absolutely love. First off, Devontae Adams feasted. 8 catches, 101 yards, and a touchdown. Michael Mayer, the rookie, 4 catches, 39 yards, and a touchdown. And then we have our other rookie, Trey Tucker, who had the best game of his NFL career, 3 catches, 59 yards, and 2 touchdowns. What I saw from Trey Tucker was what I saw when they originally drafted him. This dude can run like just simple routes and just beat players with speed. I got a comment on one of my channels saying he reminds me of almost Tyreek Hill, and I'm thinking to myself, speed-wise, he's absolutely right. Trey Tucker and Aiden O'Connell, if he's given the right amount of time, if he's just given time in general, because he's a pocket QB, he's not mobile, they are going to do big things. So it's something to keep an eye on in the next 3 games of the season. We'll talk about that soon. Trey Tucker, Michael Mayer, and obviously Aiden O'Connell in the last 3 games. These are all rookies. These are all guys who are coming off stellar games. And now you've got the Kansas City Chiefs, a divisional rival, let's see how they perform, because last time we saw Aiden O'Connell against the Kansas City Chiefs, well, in the first half, they were doing an absolutely unbelievable job. And the Kansas City Chiefs defense is currently ranked third in the National Football League. So let's talk about this defense, because I think most Raiders fans would agree with the statement that if Derek Carr in that Raiders era of football had a competent, at least average defense, they would have made a lot more noise than they made. This defense had 3 total sacks. They had an interception. Jack Jones, just unbelievable interception there. 2 total touchdowns, a thick 6 and a pick 6, and they had 5 forced fumbles. But we saw players just absolute feast. Double D, my man Divine Diablo, 12 total tackles. Jack Jones bounces back with an incredible game. That was one of the nastiest pick 6s I've ever seen with my own 2 eyes. Max Crosby is Max Crosby. He's only 26 years old, guys. He has 13 and a half sacks on the season. And Malcolm Kuntz in the last month or so especially has really made a name for himself and really established himself as one of these young players on this defense that could be, and actually right now actually looks like, a star. He had 2 total sacks. He had 2 forced fumbles. This dude's just an animal. He's a literal animal. And one thing, because we've been talking about the Raiders for like 2 years now on this channel, just outside of Max Crosby, one of my biggest issues was just getting quarterback pressures. It's like the whole Chandler Jones mess, the whole fiasco. I wish him the best of luck, obviously, but Malcolm Kuntz has really stuck out in this specifically second half of the season, but he's actually been a really talented young player since he got into the National Football League. You also have rookie Jacorian Bennett, who I think is going to be a stud. Amik Robertson has really stepped up in the with the departure of Marcus Peters. So there's future and current talent right there. And then obviously we have to talk a little, and Robert Spillane, by the way, absolute A+ free agency signing. I absolutely love it. The dude's feasting. He's got like 120 total tackles on the season. He's got a bunch of interceptions. He's got some sacks. He's got some fumbles. The dude's all over the place. Now, Tyree Wilson, the stat sheet only will tell you that he had 2 total tackles this past Thursday night against the Chargers. But one big thing is they moved him from the edge to the interior defensive line, and he was making pressures. He was doing more than enough, and it's something to keep an eye on for these last 3 football games, because if he plays the way he did against the Chargers on Thursday night, well, folks, that's why he was selected at number 7. We know he has talent. The issue with Tyree Wilson is it's just very raw talent, and he also unfortunately came into the league with a brutal injury. So patience. Now, I will say Antonio Pierce, next 3 games. Aiden O'Connell, QB1 legitimacy, next 3 games. Raiders fans won't like this. John Gruden as offensive coordinator. Just let me know what you guys are thinking about that, all right? That's it. Hit that like button. Hit that sub button for daily NFL content. Raiders fans, most importantly, let me know what you guys are thinking about the future state of your team down below in the comment section. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great rest of your night, and we will see you next time.